Don't push.
Oh,
Don't push. Don't push. Don't push. Don't push.
hang on.
Don't push. Come on, don't respond. Anti-Semitic nationalists don't represent the church.
All right, let me speak now. Let me speak. I can't get a word in edgeways between you and this guy. Okay, let me explain.
Answer my question. I answered a number of your questions. Answer mine.
Brother, what we notice with you and you claim to be a Christian is you constantly offload on the Muslims as the problem, and you're anti-woke. Now everybody knows that the promoters of woke in the West, hang on, the promoters of woke in the Western world are Jews.
Lies!
Are the Frankfurt
Lies!
School? Frankfurt School,
ladies and gentlemen.
Frankfurt
the
School.
Frankfurt School was a
Muslim or Christian?
Communist school.
Communist Jews.
A way of thinking.
Jews.
Blaming the Jews
Are they Muslims?
is symptomatic of anti-Semitism, ladies and gentlemen. And we should oppose nationalists who push anti-Semitism. But did he answer
Jews?
my question?
Do
you want him to answer my question? Do you oppose Muslims who push Sharia law? Yes or no?
I am a Catholic, and I, unlike you, my duty is to make an alliance with the people I live with. And I love Muslims, and I want to find common ground with them.
So in other words, no, he doesn't.
Your job. You put words in my mouth.
Do you condemn the persecution of Christians across the Islamic
I don't even know
world?
why you're shouting.
Do you condemn that?
What I condemn is your failure to address Jewish moral subversion. And I think it's because you're a coward and you only offload on
I'll
Muslims.
debate you right now if you want on this entire issue.
And by the way, Nick Cotton is still waiting.
Would you like to have a time? No. Do you want to have a time debate?
First of all, you come with me.
Do you want to have a time debate?
Finish with Jamie.
He's running away.
No, he's not.
He's running away.
Don't
His anti-Semitism is such that he is willing to give a soft pass to the persecution of Christians around the Islamic world, ladies and gentlemen.
Is it?
Exactly. No Jews, no news.
Have you
He's
ever?
got nothing to say.
Have you ever criticized?
Do you condemn?
Have you ever criticized?
Do you condemn Sharia's apostasy laws that kills Christians?
You're always deflecting to
And
Muslims.
answer that question.
You're always deflecting.
We'll do question for question. You answer one, I'll answer
I
one.
condemn all sin.
You let
All
him in.
sin.
I want to talk to
I
him.
condemn all sin. Are you prepared to direct the same kind of scrutiny to the Jews as you do to the Muslims?
Right, ladies and
Because
gentlemen.
it's obvious you don't.
I am going to answer his question to demonstrate
Let's
what
hear ya.
answering
Let's
a
hear ya.
question looks like. And then I'm
Now,
going to ask him a question,
don't deflect to the
and I
Muslims.
want you to see if he actually answers the question.
That's fair.
We should scrutinise Israel's treatment
What about
of
the
the
Jews?
Palestinians and of the Christians both in Israel and around Israel, including, for instance, its sales of arms to Armenia that facilitated a genocide of 120,000 Christians
Bob, we agree.
in Armenia.
We agree.
Now
High
let me
five.
ask him a question.
High five.
Do you condemn the institutional persecution of Christians as established in Sharia law? Yes or no?
Are you talking about Tariq Aziz? Are you talking about Tariq Aziz? Who
Let-
was the spokesman for Iraq?
I'm asking him.
Let me
Where
answer.
Christians lived in peace in Iraq.
I'm asking him.
I condemn any unjust persecution, including when Muslims persecute Christians unjustly, and all persecution. Now, the thing about it is, our duty as Christians is to try and live in harmony with our neighbours.
No.
Love thy neighbour.
You don't think so? We shouldn't try and live in harmony.
That's not our first duty. You're presenting it like it's a single duty and there's
I
only
didn't say a
one.
single one. The first, when here in England, I would say my first duty as a Catholic towards Muslims is not to say I condemn.
Unless
It's to
they're
say,
Jews.
Hold on. I will. Let's find common ground. You call him Allah. We call him God. There's only one God. And I think the essential.
There he goes.
The essential difference is that yes, we know Muslims. It's about our
Sorry, mate.
understanding of who Jesus Christ is. We believe he's God. Muslims honor him as a prophet. The Jews,
Have you got Leviticus
who
in
killed
there?
Jesus Christ?
Right. So,
Who killed Jesus
I'm
Christ?
going to
Pontius
answer
Pilate
one of
washed
his
his hands.
questions, and then I'm going to make a point, and then I'm going to ask him a question. Okay, so who killed Pontius Pilate?
No, not Pontius Pilate.
Sorry, my apologies, yes. Who killed Jesus
Pontius
Christ?
Pilate
Does
washed
help
his
if I
hands
get
in
it right.
The Pharisees.
Who killed
The
Pontius
Pharisees.
Pilate?
Let
The
him speak. Let him
leadership
speak. Let him
of the
speak.
Jewish nation were responsible with the Roman authorities for killing Jesus Christ.
Can I respond?
No,
That's
no,
good.
let me finish.
All right.
But, ladies and gentlemen, he made a claim that Muslims and Christians have the same God. Let me ask all the Muslims, do you believe in the Trinity? They're silent. Of course not. Do you believe in the Trinity?
Bob, you're missing.
Answer the question. Answer the question. Answer the question.
How many gods are there, Bob?
Answer the question.
There's
and
one
then
God.
Answer the question.
There's one God.
Do you believe in the Trinity?
Of course, I'm a Catholic.
Thank you. He
Hang
doesn't
on,
believe in
hang
the
on.
Trinity.
I know
Who's
that.
right?
You think I don't know that?
Who's right?
Of
Let me
course there's
explain.
subtle
Let me
differences.
explain. That's a very. He's got to the nub of the issue. Let me explain.
Scared to talk to me. Yeah, of course. He's still scared
He
to
might
talk
run
to
away.
Now, you've got to the nub of the issue. And if we talk about the three great religions, the three great monotheistic religions,
Of one God.
Christianity.
Of one God.
Would you like to do this
Hold on,
timed?
Hold on.
No.
like to do
I
this
can do
time?
this all day as long as you like.
like.
Shall we do this time?
No, we're civilised.
Let's get the real
Civilised
good question.
Christians
Should
don't
we,
not.
should we do this time?
Christians do not need to time. We're not going to interrupt each other. Right? Why don't you tell us what's in Leviticus chapter 8?
You've been interrupting consistently.
I know. Let's get it.
you write
Jamie,
up
because this is important. Bob, well done. He's asked the essential question. Right, it's about the Trinity. Let's look at the three great monotheistic religions: Judaism,
You claim to know them all, but you don't know me.
Hello, brother. Jamie, give it. Yeah. Judaism, Islam, and Christianity. There is only one God. The Jews would claim they believe in God. So do the Muslims, and so do the Christians. Now, what's the difference? We believe God is the Trinity. God is three-dimensional, in other words. The Muslims reject that, and I know that, and that's a debate we can have.
Do you respect them for that,
The Jews reject Jesus Christ at the time, and you mentioned the Jewish leadership. Can you be a leader without followers? No. When we talk about, the Catholic Church has always said, who killed Christ? The Jewish leaders and those who follow their lead. From the Gospel of John, chapter 8, that group is identified as the Jews. And the Jews still exist in the world. It doesn't include every single Jew, because every Jew has free will. But essentially, if you ask the question, yes, the Trinity is what divides us, but I have much more common ground with Muslims who honor Jesus as a prophet than the Jews who continue to reject him to this day.
Can I reply? Right, ladies and gentlemen, he says he's got more common ground with Muslims than Jews. He does. Let's be clear. Muslims deny the crucifixion, which is at the very heart of all Christian belief. Muslims deny the resurrection,
What about the
which
Jews?
is at the heart of all Christian belief.
How about Jews?
Muslims deny
You won't talk
the
about the
Trinity,
Jews.
No, of course he won't.
which is at the heart of all Christian
Bob,
belief.
say the
Now
Jew
he
word.
wants to
Say the
say,
J
what
word.
about the Jews?
Yes,
What
go
about
on.
the Jews?
Tell
What
us.
about the Jews?
What do they say?
Of course, the Jews deny the same things.
So why is that
and
okay?
that it means,
Yeah.
that means that as Christians, the right Christian position is to reject both ideologies.
But what does
But
Zionist
what
believe in?
does he do? What does he do? He wants to obfuscate on the questions of Islam. And why does he want to obfuscate on the
Keep it, Bob.
questions of
Keep it
Islam?
down.
Because hating Jews and
one
stirring
says-
up prejudice
Nobody
against
says-
Jews
I don't
Let me
is
deal with
more
that. Let me deal
important
with
to
that.
him
Let me deal
than
with that.
standing up for the Christian faith.
Can I
Ladies
respond
and
to that,
gentlemen.
please?
Who said that? Who used
Hang
the
on.
word?
Ladies and gentlemen,
Let me-
it says in Galatians, and I want him to address this point, that if anyone preaches a gospel other than this, that Christ was crucified and that he rose again on the third day, let him be accursed. That means every rabbi that teaches Christ was not crucified or risen is accursed. That means that every prophet like Muhammad is accursed. And so I want to ask him this question.
Where did the Zionists stand?
Will he say that Muhammad is accursed for saying that Christ was not crucified? Did you hear the question?
Say it again, sorry.
The question is, will he say that Muhammad is accursed because Muhammad said Christ was not crucified?
Brother, as a Christian, okay, a couple of things that I think, and look, I'm older than you, so this is just friendly advice, don't take it in a patronizing way. Your whole spirit seems to be to promote division. Okay, when we have a dialogue as Christians, we should seek to find common ground, right? And I'm not denying, we know the Trinity is the stumbling block, but I would say when I speak to a Muslim, the fact that they honor Jesus Christ as a prophet. Now, it's a big demotion, let's be honest. We believe he's God, the Son, we can talk about that. But you recognize him as a prophet. Now, that means the moral order that Jesus Christ instituted, you as Muslims, you're very amenable to that because you honor him. That's good. I think the Jews are in a much more difficult position because they rejected him. And if you look at the behavior of Jews since the crucifixion and right up to this day, that rejection is obvious in their behavior. It's a genocide. It's a genocide. I don't know. I think, you did, in fairness, you did condemn it, Bob, and I appreciate that, and I admire you for that.
But shouldn't we
last thing. The other element of Jewish influence in the world, and by the way, when I say the Jews, I do not mean all Jews. I mean the Jewish leaders. He only calls them leaders, but leaders have followers. They're called the Jews. Gospel of John will attest to that. They engage in moral subversion. And if you're a Christian, you have a duty to fight moral subversion. And you will not do that by attacking Muslims. If you look at sodomy, gay marriage, transgenderism, abortion. Did you know in America, when Roe v. Wade was overturned, there weren't Muslims on the street saying, this is our fundamental value. It was the Jews.
Can I reply?
Let me finish that. The Jews, about 400 Jewish organizations were on the street with placards saying access to abortion is a fundamental Jewish value. That's the opposite of Christianity. Sorry, go for it, Bob.
Right, so let's be clear. As a Christian, I condemn any Jew that is pro-abortion. However, what this ignorant doesn't know is that Sharia law permits abortion. Will he now condemn Sharia law for permitting abortion?
All right.
No, I haven't finished. I haven't finished. He said,
what's his name?
do not. Now he said, ladies and gentlemen,
you don't need to scream,
that we should build alliances with Muslims in opposition to Jews. Let's be clear, Scripture says this, do not be unevenly yoked with the unbelievers. For what partnership has righteousness with lawlessness? Or what fellowship has light with darkness? What accord has Christ with Belial? Or what portion does a believer share with an unbeliever? I haven't finished. Islam permits polygamy. That's adultery. Islam permits secret marriages. Islam permits child marriage and sex with children. Does he condemn Islam for all of those things? Does he condemn Islam for allowing abortion? I've already stated, I will condemn any rabbi who teaches those things.
What about the Jews?
So will he condemn Muhammad for teaching those things? Now he said that I have an agenda of division.
Yes.
And I do. He's absolutely right. But I'm in good company because these are the words of his Lord Jesus Christ. I came to cast fire on the earth and would that it be already kindled. I have a baptism to baptize you with, and how great is my distress until it is accomplished.
Beautiful.
Do you think that I have come to give peace on earth? No, I tell you, but rather division. So Jesus came to bring division because truth separates those who stand with truth with those who stand with falsehood. And when he makes alliances with Muslims against Jews, he is unevenly yoked against an unbeliever, and he has not condemned Islamic teaching with the examples that I gave.
Let me respond. Is that okay? You've done. That's good. By the way, as a Christian, I forgive you. I'm not sure if it was warranted to call me ignorant, to be fair, but anyway, but maybe I am. Anyway, let's start with this last point about Jesus Christ said, "I have come to bring a sword, the sword." Now, fundamentally, that is not about creating division with your neighbours in your culture. It's about essentially what Christ did that was completely new. Is he separated the sinner from his sin, and that's what the sword of truth does. It says, I condemn the sin, but I never hate the sinner. I never hate the sinner, and I apply the sword first of all to myself. Now, if you want to kind of say I'm going to apply that to have division in my country, England, which I love, I think that's a misinterpretation, to be honest. You know what I mean?
Now the problem in this country,
when you're done, I'll reply. Wait, well, are you done? Are you done?
The problem in this
okay,
country,
so ladies and gentlemen,
the problem in this
let me
country
reply to
is
his
Christianity.
He said that Christ,
this guy needs to look
that
at
Christ didn't come to cause division against your neighbours.
We are a
He
divided people.
demonstrates that he doesn't know the
problem is
scripture.
Christian.
He's arguing from a
this country
non-scriptural position.
is that Christians
Here's what it
are
says.
broken.
For
There
from
is
now
no
on,
Christianity.
in one house, there will be 5 divided, 3 against 2,
It's a
and
typical
2
Protestant,
against 3.
just fires
They
Bible
will be
verses.
divided,
Not
father against son, son against father, mother against daughter, and daughter against mother, mother-in-law against her daughter-in-law, and daughter-in-law
Because we've
against her
lost it.
mother-in-law. Ladies and gentlemen,
we used the
he
Muslims
made
as
the
a
claim
scapegoat. They
that
used the
Christ
Muslims.
was not teaching about division against your neighbour. He's saying that you would be divided in your own household, let alone against your neighbour. And so the reality is, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, he's coming out with platitudes, not biblical exegesis. He hasn't rooted his line of argument in the words of Jesus. He has rooted it in the
teachings of the Catholic Church.
In the political platitudes
The teachings of the Catholic Church.
misguided bishops like the Pope, who said
here we go.
that all religions lead to God. So let me ask him, this is the Pope's word, all religions lead to God. Different kinds of religions. So here's my question to him. Does voodoo lead to God? Does Arianism lead to God? Answer those questions.
The answer is here.
I'm asking
No,
him.
no,
I'm asking him.
No, he's not.
I would
I'm
love to
asking
answer.
him. Are you
I'm
running away?
answering this
Are
question.
you running away?
Yes, I'm answering.
No,
it.
I'm
He's
talking
got-
to him.
Yeah, well, I'm here now.
I'm talking to
The
him.
problem in this
Are you running
country-
away from the debate?
problem in this-
Are you
no,
running
he
away
isn't.
from the
You don't
debate?
need to shout, I'm right here.
Right, well,
I'm
respond
here
then
all
to
day.
what I've said.
No, he's
10
Why are you
o'clock
hiding
tonight.
behind?
Please sit
No,
down. Sorry.
no. You let him in, tough.
Yeah, no,
Ask
tough on
response
you.
to-
Tough on you.
Let's not
Because
push one
no,
another.
But you're leaning on me.
Let's not
Don't
push
push
one
me.
another.
If you touch-
This is my pedestal. You're not pushing me.
So
I am
what's your
talking to you
response?
now, right? And the fact
Why are
of
you
the matter
running
is,
away?
right,
Why are you
why
hiding
don't you
behind
talk
him?
to me?
Brother, you're
Why
just-
Why
don't
are you
talk to me?
hiding behind him?
Why don't you
He's
talk
not
to
hiding,
me?
he's
Why
just
are you
stepped in.
hiding
Why
behind
don't
him?
you talk
Is
to
that a
me?
Christian way to talk to a
Respond to
fellow
your
Christian?
point.
I'm telling you now.
Respond to the point that
Instead of
I
Is that how
made.
making
Christians talk to fellow
Muslims
Christians?
Respond
Why
to the
don't you
point
look
that I
at
made.
Christianity?
Why do you not
Christianity is the
respond to
problem.
the point that I made?
Christianity is the problem.
Why? There you go. The nationalist said Christianity is the problem.
It is the problem.
Thus demonstrating he's not a Christian.
Christianity
No
is the problem.
Christian would say Christianity is
Oh
the
yes,
problem.
in this country,
He is a nationalist
the
trying
British
to
people,
kidnap the Christian faith for his own anti-Semitic politics.
I don't think he meant
and
it like
every
that.
Christian
Let him
should
say his
reject
bit, I'll
him,
answer it.
ladies and
Right,
gentlemen.
so what I'm saying is, right, the British people have fallen from their Christian values.
That's it. Here,
Which
here.
he doesn't hold.
Why this man
Nor does
is
he
attacking
have.
Muslims?
Why are you hiding behind him?
Why this man
Jamie,
is
let me in
attacking
there, please,
Muslims?
sorry.
Why this man is
Why are you
attacking
hiding
Muslims?
behind him?
This man attacks Muslims.
Why are you
when
hiding
he should
behind
be
him?
building up.
Why are you hiding behind him?
The way feminists.
Why are you hiding behind him?
Why are you refusing
Answer
to talk
the
to
question.
Talk to me.
You let him in.
No, and I'm talking
Answer
to you.
the question.
I'll let you in as well. I'll let you in.
Don't touch.
Get off me. Get off me.
Don't touch.
Don't touch me. You touch me first.
So answer the question.
listen.
Let me answer. Let me answer.
Right, answer the argument that I
You
made.
will answer my question. You will answer my question, right? Why
Wow,
is
the Christians are giving themselves a bad name over here, man.
Who claims to be a Christian and says Christianity
I wanna
is the
talk to him.
problem
this man
has shown
has
himself
come here
not
to
to be a
revitalise
Christian.
Christianity in this country. His way of revitalising Christianity is to attack Islam. He should be building from the bottom
tell him we wanna
upwards
hear Sean.
because
Sean.
we have
My
lost
inbox is full of people becoming
How about him
Christians.
answering? He's here to build Christian values.
Just last week, 3 people were talking to me about going forward for baptism.
Go on, you can talk to
Bob,
Shane.
I'm here.
Right, so did you hear my response? Do you remember my response? Do you want me to
Bear with
recap?
me. Just first
Will
thing.
you respond to what I said?
Can I speak, please?
Will you respond to what
Can
I
I
said?
speak?
I invited you. Do you remember
Hang
my
on.
points?
You're not behaving like a Christian.
Nor are you.
Can I? Let me speak. Now, the first thing to say is,
Do you mind moving over a little bit, please?
can I?
No, I'm stood here. Don't push. Don't push. Move your camera. It's your camera. I'm not going to stop it.
Boys.
Push.
Oh, whoa.
Don't push. Don't push. Don't push.
Oh,
Don't push.
hang on.
Don't push.
Come on, don't respond. I've got my place. I've got my place. I've got my place.
Anti-Semitic nationalists don't represent the church.
All right, let me speak now. Let me speak.
I've got space.
Right, what's your question?
Right, move back a little bit. Let's get a bit of space here. Right, now, first of
Do you
all,
want to debate me over there?
well, let's continue here now. I think we're all right. The first thing is, Bob, I love you, brother, as a brother and a fellow Christian, but the whole way you're speaking and debating is not very edifying for Christians. You're shouting. You're kind of accusatory. You called me ignorant. Maybe I am.
No, I don't have to move my camera. Oh, no, this is what I've been pushed.
Answer that question. Was I right to call you ignorant? Did you know that Islam teaches abortion?
Let me talk about abortion.
Answer that question.
No, he started.
Did you know that Islam permits abortion?
I'll answer.
Oh, you're on our camera.
Your camera's right there. I'm not touching your camera.
No, but you're trying to take over.
We want to get on there. Move back a little. Let's get Jamie's
Move
camera.
over a little.
I'm standing right here.
Brother, just behave like a Christian and show some decency.
Look, brother.
All right, now, can I answer the question about abortion?
No, you want you to answer my earlier argument. Shall I recap it very briefly?
Abortion?
No, I'll recap my argument very briefly. It'll take me a minute or
You've
two.
been talking for so long. I haven't had a chance.
No, that was his fault, not mine. That was his fault,
And
not
the other
mine.
thing is, hang
That
on.
was his fault, not mine.
I'm part of this
That was his
conversation.
fault, not mine.
Can we make this more fruitful?
Do you want to go over there and debate?
Let's just stick to the people here.
Right, so I'm going to recap my argument very
He doesn't want
quickly.
to let me talk. He doesn't want to let me talk.
I'm recapping very quickly. It'll
Brother,
take me a minute.
you've had about 10 minutes. Can I
That's his fault, not mine. I wanted you to reply. You allowed him to
And you, in a
interrupt.
very unchristian way, you were accusing me of cowardice.
You are a
and
coward.
running away. Oh,
You are a coward.
well, I'm here.
You are a coward.
You think that's
I
a
actually
Christian way?
accused you of ignorance.
Is that a
I
Christian way?
accused you of ignorance.
Well,
Did Jesus call the Pharisees whitewashed tombs? Did he call them foxes and vipers?
why are you calling me a coward?
You are a coward because you are willing to betray persecuted Christians
Why don't you try and
in this country and abroad because you want to build an alliance against Jews in this country with Muslims.
Well, there's a whole lot of stuff you're accusing me of, so let me
Right.
respond. Let me respond. First of all,
conspiracy
as a
theory that you
Christian,
believe.
we should always give each other the benefit of the doubt. So accusing me of cowardice and ignorance, I just don't think that's very edifying. But leave that aside. I forgive you for that. We were on abortion.
No.
Well, can I deal with that? Because, I mean, that was a big issue that came
No,
up.
no, that was not the
Why,
point that
why
I
are you
made.
not allowing me to speak?
Do you want to do it timed?
No, that's just...
No, he's shouting right
Muslims,
now.
I'm
Why are
sorry.
you talking to
This is
him?
a bad advertisement for
Why aren't you
Christianity.
talking to
It's
him?
like you, Chef. Why don't you talk about...
We're doing it again.
Christian values?
We're not behaving very
I'm
Christian,
offering
boys.
you a timed debate.
Let's just have a conversation. Can you bring the volume down from 11 to about 4? I'm on
If you
4.
stop shouting at me, yes, I can do
That's
that.
all
Who
you
started the show?
You did.
I think you raised the volume, but never mind. Forgive and forget. Let's move on. I actually pray outside abortion centres all the time, twice a week in Brixton, because abortion is absolutely wrong. That's an innocent person. Now, I recognize that Islam has certain exceptions. I disagree with that, but again, let's begin with common ground. I think the fact that you Christians believe, we all believe in the same God, you believe you're going to be judged, that He's the creator, I think that's how we start a dialogue. And then, when we get time and we understand each other, then I will present my position on abortion, why it's always wrong, and then you can decide, well, maybe I'll reconsider the Muslim position. But that's how we, as Christians, we do that. I think it's more difficult with Jews, although I will talk to Jews. I love Jews. God, Jesus Christ, commanded us to love even our enemies. So I love the Jews. And when you love someone, it's our duty. We admonish them, we call out their sins. If that's a genocide in Gaza, I will say it's wrong. Not because I hate the Jews, it's because I love them. And the other thing, but to finish on the point, if you look at the position of Muslims and Jews are much more pro-abortion than Muslims. And I think, Bob, all I'm saying is whenever you address a Muslim issue, I would say choose the corresponding Jewish position, present that, condemn both, and then I think you would come across as a much more reasonable
Can I
guy.
reply now?
Go for it.
Right, so let's be clear. Let's be clear.
And keep the
He
voice down.
wants me.
You know.
No, you don't get to
All
do
right,
that.
all right.
He wants me. This is how entrenched anti-Semitism into his worldview is.
Oh, I said I love
that
the
he
Jews.
wants, and now you're interrupting, is that he wants me to always, whenever I criticize Islam, criticize the Jews.
To be fair, yeah.
When I am debating Jews, I will criticize rabbinic Judaism. But this park is full of Muslims. And so who do I end up debating most? Muslims.
Fair
so
enough.
what am I going to condemn when I'm debating Muslims?
Well,
Islam.
Let
But
me respond
ladies
to
and
that. Let me
gentlemen,
respond
no, I
to
haven't
that.
finished. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I made a biblical point. 2 points. Firstly, Christ does teach division. He didn't respond to that. Christ said that he will divide you in your own house, in your own living room. How does that correspond to his liberal political
Let me
point?
explain, let me
I haven't
explain.
finished. Don't interrupt.
sorry.
How does that correspond
I'll explain.
to his liberal political point about building Muslim alliances against Jews? Secondly, ladies and gentlemen, sorry, not even liberal, nationalist. Secondly, ladies and gentlemen, I pointed out in Scripture that it says, do not be unevenly yoked with the unbeliever. And that is exactly what he is doing. Because he is unevenly yoked with the Muslims, he will not condemn Sharia law. He has been challenged. Does he say that Muhammad is accursed because Muhammad taught another gospel apart from the apostles? Does he condemn the apostasy law in Sharia law? Does he condemn abortion? All that he can bring himself to do is go, well, we can have a conversation about that, but let's focus on the Jews.
Well, hang on.
Ladies
okay.
and gentlemen.
Can I respond? Good man.
Ladies and
Well done.
gentlemen, I'll ask him a simple question. I want to hear the response. In Galatians,
hang on.
the apostle teaches that anyone who teaches a contrary gospel to that taught that Christ has died, Christ is risen, and Christ will come again is accursed. Right. Does he believe that Muhammad is accursed for denying the crucifixion of Jesus Christ?
Brother, thank
Answer
you for
that
that.
question.
Thank you for that. What you misunderstand is how you deal with people who have different beliefs. You think it's to kind of rant at them and to, like you did to me, call them ignorant, call me cowardly. The Christian way is to say, yes, there are differences. Here is the Christian position. See what you think of it. You're a rational creature. All Muslims, Jews, God made us all rational creatures. We are created to love the truth and to find the truth. Now, I think you mischaracterized me on abortion. The difference between your activism on abortion and mine is you go to the pro-life rally, March for Life, and you trade slogans with the
feminists.
With the pro. And well, most of them, Bob, they're wounded women that have had abortions. They're guilty. They're angry. And when someone like me and you say abortion is wrong, they get angry because they think, well, when someone condemns your sin, you feel angry. But the Christian response is not to start calling them bad names. When I've been at the March for Life, probably a lot longer than you, we go up there and we try and speak to them individually. And for many years, I've been going to abortion centres all over London, mainly in Brixton and Clapham and Streatham, where I live. And the women going in there and their husbands, I will say, look, we can help you with the Good Counsel Network charity. Now, I think that's a much better position to have.
Can I respond?
Sure, go for it.
Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, did you hear an answer to my question? Did you hear him answer whether he is willing to say Muhammad is accursed because Muhammad denies the crucifixion of Jesus Christ? No, you didn't.
Well, let me explain.
No, I'll finish before you replied. I let you finish.
Go for it. No, go for it.
Now, ladies and gentlemen,
Go for it.
this is the problem when your beliefs are more rooted in some kind of politics than they are in Scripture.
No, it's the catechism.
Because he is not willing to condemn Muhammad as accursed, as the apostles condemn all who teach another gospel, all who teach another means of salvation that is not wrought by Christ's death and resurrection. He's not willing to condemn it. But let's be clear, where his politics is leading him. He is not willing to stand up against the fact that in this country there are Christians who have left Islam and have been forced out of their homes and towns because of the harassment of Christophobic mobs. I know many of them, driven from their family homes, driven from their towns, even some of them have had murder attempts on their life. Why? Because of Christophobia in the middle of the Muslim community that is unchallenged by the liberal state and unchallenged by Christian sops like this who give grounds, ladies and gentlemen, to the very Islamists who are killing tens of thousands of our brothers and sisters in Nigeria, who attempted to wipe out the Christian population of Iraq, who persecute Christians in Malaysia and Indonesia. But, ladies and gentlemen, how vocal is he in saying that the Jewish Zionists are to blame for wokeism, and that therefore we should go after the Jewish Zionists because they are supporting wokeism? So why won't he condemn Muslims who support Sharia law, which leads directly to the persecution of Christians? Here's his chance to do that. 1, say Muhammad is accursed. 2, condemn Muslims who support the implementation of Sharia law against Christians. Go on.
Brother, can I say this? Can I say I'm a Catholic. Now, Bob is what I would call a typical Protestant.
I'm a typical Protestant.
Good man. I love you too.
But not like that.
He will take the Bible. Now, we all know Shakespeare. He said the devil can cite scripture for his own purposes. What you do as a typical Protestant, he'll take a line of the Bible and say, well, you condemn this person or that person. That is not the Christian way. He doesn't know the Catholic Catechism, which is the teachings of the Church, who recognize that Muslims are the children of God and the people of God. And I want to work on that basis.
He won't quote Leviticus chapter 18.
And as I say, whenever he talks, he says he's fair-minded, but you say because mainly my audience is Muslim, I will only talk about Islam. That's not how it goes. When we speak the truth, we have to speak the whole truth. And yes, we have a duty. It's not a privilege. It's a duty to call out problems in Islam. I condemn Islamic persecution of Christians. You know, there was that lady in Pakistan. What was her name? Anyway, that's wrong. But we need to be fair when we spread the problems. And the biggest problem in the world at the moment is a genocide in Gaza.
Yes.
I've never heard Bob condemn that. And moral subversion here in the West. And if you look at who promotes moral subversion, it is not the Muslims. By the way, did you all know, here's an interesting, did you all know that the owner of Pornhub, the biggest porn site on the internet, is owned by a trained rabbi, Solomon Friedman? Did anyone know that?
Can I reply?
Go for it.
Right, ladies and gentlemen. Do I condemn Pornhub? Yes. Do I want it to be banned? Yes. Does that require me to put all Jews in the same basket?
Not all Jews, no.
And say that
The
Jews are responsible? No, ladies and gentlemen. Nor do I put all Muslims in the same basket and condemn all Muslims.
God bless you.
But I condemn Sharia law. I condemn that revelation that came from Muhammad, that is degenerate, backward and savage,
You're on the Muslims again.
that allows for child marriage,
What about the
that
Jews?
allows for abortion,
can't do it.
that allows for secret marriages, that allows for adulterous marriages, that allows for divorce. He wants me to condemn degeneracy where a rabbi is responsible. I condemn the rabbi, I condemn the degeneracy. Now let him do the same with Muhammad,
Good man, let me
who
respond.
permitted
Let me respond.
abortion, divorce,
Let me respond.
adulterous marriages, secret marriages, the persecution of Christians. Will he do it?
Let me respond.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Good man.
because this man is driven by anti-Semitism.
Whoa, again, you're at it
He
again, Bob.
mentioned that Muslims are the children of God,
Brother, you're...
in the same way that atheists are the children of God. Should I now
all right.
ally with
Let me
atheists
respond.
in pushing an atheist agenda? No.
All right, thank you, good man. Now, all right, you know what? I was going to mention coward, ignorant, sop, anti-Semite. You're kind of going through the whole list of names. I'd just say that is not a good spirit. But and I think he made an important distinction there, which is important. If you can condemn Sharia law, good man. But hang on, this is what the sword means. You separate the sin from the sinner.
Do you condemn Sharia law?
Now, I want to talk about your response to Pornhub, because he always does this.
Do you condemn Sharia law?
He always does this. Now, when Israel, the Jews in Israel, when they invaded Ramallah in 2002, did you know they took over the TV stations, and guess what they broadcast? Pornography. Now, what does that tell us about pornography? Pornography is a weapon to demoralize. Now, Thomas Aquinas, the greatest Catholic theologian from the Middle Ages, he said, lust makes you blind. Right? Now, why would the Jews want to pump porn into Palestine? I think we know. Because a blind enemy is weak. And I think, yes, you can condemn the rabbi, Solomon Friedman, but I think you have to be more courageous and say the Jews deploy pornography as a weapon. And that's what should be condemned. It's not just one rabbi, it's the Jewish leaders and those who follow their lead.
Can I reply?
And that's the distinction you need to make.
Right.
And when you're there,